Hello traders, Jason here with SwingHigh.com. It is Thursday, February 11th, 2010, and this is your halftime report. It's actually 1:40, almost quarter of, and I'm burning this right now because I'm probably not going to be able to give you your post-market analysis at the normal time today. So let's just take a run through the markets. I'll tell you what I see and what I expect into the close, and then we'll talk again tomorrow. So here we have most of the major indexes up above 1%. The S&P at pretty much 1%, the Dow 1%, the NASDAQ up over 1.5%. The financials are struggling to catch up here. They're only up about 0.5%. The Russell's up a little over 1%. The dollar down a tiny bit, and gold up almost 2%. That's what we see on the broad markets. This is the S&P 500 tracking ETF, SPY, on the intraday time frame, the 5-minute chart. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit to show you that this is where we closed yesterday, right here. We had a small gap down this morning. This lighter area is the post and pre-market sessions. So we had a small gap down. Put in a hammer reversal right there, swing low, came up here, hit our heads on resistance perfectly at the 107.20 mark, and didn't quite reach it. Pulled back, made a higher swing low, broke through on the next attempt, that's 107.20, came up here and stopped at this thick red line, which is the top of our channel on the daily chart. Naturally, we stopped there, put in I guess you could call this a bullish pennant, a symmetrical triangle, or a high base. It's a very tiny formation, but that's what happened there at resistance. Broke through that resistance on increasing volume. Came up here, smacked our heads on 108, which was expected resistance as well. Chopped around 108 between about noon and I guess 1:15, a little after 1. So almost an hour and a half we held up under this resistance here at 108, and then we broke through it just recently. Now we have what looks to be a rough tweezers top formation in the making, and a pullback to 108, which is acting as support now, because once resistance is broken, it becomes support on the way back down. So if we break this resistance, or support now, excuse me, I can expect some support on the intraday around 107.75. After that, the top of this channel on the daily, this red line, should act as support as well. But this does look like a weak reversal formation. Otherwise, it could just be a pullback and we could stay up above this support all day. We could bounce off of it even and make new highs going into the close. Most of this buying is on speculation, I guess you could say, on the news that Greece is getting bailed out, and that was yesterday's news really. Today's news is that there are potentially better details coming out, which sounds like a classic buy on the rumors, sell on the news. So I'm a little afraid to go long here. However, I did lighten up on some shorts, because yesterday, I'll show you on the daily chart, I entered a couple short positions because we did make a lower low and a lower high, and we were at resistance, and I had very tight stops on those positions. Basically, if we went above today's highs, I was out. So I already stopped out of those positions with very minimal loss. Here's the daily time frame of SPY, this down channel we have after this rising wedge breakdown. There's your rising wedge. We are breaking above the top of that channel right now, and resistance here. So next stop could be 109 on SPY on the daily chart. However, volume does need to pick up for it to be a good breakout. Let's quickly look at the market internals very quickly. I only have a few seconds. The trend is mostly neutral, which means stocks can go in either direction, and the tick mostly positive. The VIX selling off almost 5% down, so that gives room for the upside. Thanks for being a part of SwingHigh.com. I'll talk to you tomorrow.